This growing organism is considered the world's oldest intoxicant.
Yeah, right there's the Amanita.
It predates alcohol by 10,000 years, yet not many use it anymore. The big question is why not? Today, Jonas and I are on hunt for Amanita muscaria, which is arguably the most famous mushroom in the world. I think everybody should know a lot about it, and if you don't, well, stay tuned, because by the end of this, you will. The fly agaric. If you're unfamiliar, well, the Smurfs live in one. And it is the famous Mario Brothers mushroom that helps Mario grow and get more powerful. And this is more than just a fairy tale. It is mushroom season in Sweden.
And this is like a short wall into the troll forest. It's like dark and dense.
Now, I saw my first one 20 years ago in Alaska. And the owner of the hostel I was staying in told me a story about it. It went something like this. It's the powerful psychotropic mushroom of the reindeer herders from Siberia in northern Europe. You see, the reindeer can't get enough, and by feeding it to them, they dance and jump about as if they're flying. The cultures would pick the mushrooms in the fall, dry them in the spruce trees, and then the shaman of the tribe would distribute them as presents over the winter solstice in December. From there, they'd all partake in the mushroom and laugh and be joyful, rest and be merry. And if the snow was heavy, well, you couldn't go through the door, so they'd come in through the roof. I had never heard any of this, but I could see how people could make the connection between this mushroom and the legends of Santa Claus and the flying reindeer. But it didn't stop there. He said the mushroom had multiple compounds in them, and the body would convert the bad chemicals to the good. And here is the weird part you don't hear in holiday stories. Apparently, you can collect the pee of both reindeer and people who had eaten the mushroom to, how do we say this, recycle the chemicals.
Ew!
That led me to research it a lot. I actually studied it in grad school when I was in Hawaii as well, doing an ethnobotany program. And it's because it has these unique chemicals within its tissues. And I'll get to all that in a sec. First, let's go find the mushroom. And of course, there's not just Amanitas. We're finding all sorts of other mushrooms in this forest.
One of these kind of unwritten rules that you don't tell people where they are, and you don't even ask people where they are because you know they're not going to answer you.
I should note here that maybe the best thing about learning about the fly agaric 20 years ago was that it instilled a deep interest in learning about fungi. Well, that's a very cool one. This is the inky cap. Drink alcohol, they're poisonous. Finding edibles.
My dad used to love picking these.
And do mushroom time lapses.
Here we go. Turn on. Every 2 minutes.
Now I want to note that this mushroom is mycorrhizal.
You want to hear something really fascinating?
Sure. There's old pictures of Christmas images that always include Amanita muscaria mushrooms. So you would find them underneath pine trees, the same way you find brightly colored presents under Christmas trees. In order to dry them, they would hang them in the trees, just like ornaments on a tree. The whole Santa Claus things where he's coming down the chimney. Why was that? Siberian shamans were ostracized. They had to sneak into people's homes, so they came down chimneys. Santa's a shaman. Also, Santa does the exact same coloration as the Amanita muscaria mushroom. Look at that. Siberian shaman looks exactly like Amanita muscaria.
Caribou are connected to a mushroom called the Amanita muscaria mushroom. They're addicted to this mushroom. They eat it constantly. They've actually been known when people do psychedelic ceremonies and they go outside of their yurts to pee, caribou will knock them over to try to get to their urine, because their urine is rich with the smell of this mushroom. Yeah, they eat it constantly. Hence,
it's a psychedelic mushroom?
The flying reindeer. It gets crazier. Ready? The connection between Santa Claus and reindeers is very strange. The connection between Santa Claus and this mushroom is also very strange. The mushroom looks like Santa Claus. It's red and white. It also shows up under pine trees. It has a mycorrhizal relationship with coniferous trees. So when it rains, the mushrooms will pop up under these trees. So these bright packages that look that's what they look like.
Packages under the tree.
Exactly. That is what they look like under trees.
Wait.
Boom. Yeah, not only that, it gets crazier. It gets crazier. To dry them off, the shamans would pick them and then put them in the pine. Put that photo up again for Adam.
Thanks, man.
Put them in the pine needles to dry them off. So just like balls
Right,
hanging
in
from
the
a
tree.
Christmas tree,
Right.
and ornaments in a Christmas tree.
Well, we still put pine needles in the pine cones in the tree.
Yes, exactly. And balls, those bright colored balls. They think the origin of that was those things. Also, Santa Claus came down the Christmas tree and the chimney, when they were discouraging these shamanic rituals. People had to sneak into people's houses to perform them. And one of the ways they did that was to climb down through the chimney. So the shaman would drop down through the chimney with a bag of mushrooms, and then they would all have these ceremonies. And when these ceremonies were forbidden, that's how they got around it. Yeah, it's the relationship between Santa Claus and Christmas and this mushroom is very strange. And there's tons of articles. Also, almost all of the old Christmas cards had the Amanita muscaria mushroom on it. And elves, also the connection between elves and these mushrooms. I got to ask Dvorak about that.
He's an archivist. He collects old Christmas cards.
Oh, does he?
I'll bet you he has some of those.
Find old Christmas cards with mushrooms. There's thousands of them.
I've never done mushrooms.
What?
I've done DMT. No, thank you. I'll smoke weed, but and I did DMT and enjoyed it very, very much.
That's a wild one, huh?
I did it twice.
See, look at these old Christmas trees.
Oh, yeah.
Find some ones that show like Merry. Look at that one right there in the middle. Yeah, there you go. See that one? Merry Christmas. Trip your balls off, kids. Hey, look, they all have mushrooms.
Oh, my God.
In the early 1900s, when they were making these, and even in the 1800s, people were just more connected to the origins of these stories.
Sure.
And over time, we've kind of lost that connection.
Oh, they commercialized it into all kinds of other shit.
But it's always the Amanita muscaria. If you look at these.
Yeah, the mushroom, of course.
It's always that one mushroom that looks like Santa Claus.
No clue what he...
December 21st, we know, is the first day of winter, shortest daylight of the year. And what makes it short? The arc of the sun across the sky is very low. And it's been coming a lower and lower arc every day en route to December 21st. The ancient peoples were worried about this because everyone worshiped the sun because it made your crops come and it gave you warmth. And you say, wow, if this keeps going lower and lower in the sky, we're going to lose the sun entirely. December 21st, the sun slows down and it stops. But that doesn't mean it's going to come back. It takes a few days for it to slow down, stop, and then reverse. You say, oh, it is coming back. Let's celebrate that. It's about December 25th, a pagan holiday celebrating the return of the sun. Christianity is trying to take foothold where pagans once roamed. And you put celebrations that match theirs just so that the shift is not as hard for you. And the unknown birthday of Jesus was then assigned this pagan day of celebration.
That is not the date of Jesus'
Yeah, Jesus
birthday.
was not born on the 25th. Right.
No.
As we continue, the theme is Christmas pagan. Take a look at Jeremiah 10:3. And it says, "For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe." So, like many of you, I also used to celebrate Christmas until I started reading scriptures like this and realized, hey, maybe we're not supposed to do this. And a lot of people will come across this scripture and go, oh, no, that's not talking about Christmas. You see, we don't bow down and worship it. You're silly. What are you saying? But then I realized when you get down on your hands and knees and bow towards this object, you are bowing down in front of it. So, is it an idol for you? It was for me. That's why I don't do it anymore. It is Christmas pagan.
Wondered what mushrooms have to do with Christmas? Let's dive into a fascinating story that connects ancient traditions to modern holiday cheer. Meet the Amanita muscaria, a magical mushroom known for its bright red cap and white spots. But how does it link to Christmas? Centuries ago, Siberian shamans used these mushrooms in their winter solstice rituals. Dressed in red and white, just like Santa, they would deliver the dried mushrooms as gifts, sometimes entering homes through the chimney. Even the legend of Santa's flying reindeer may have roots here. Reindeer in these regions were known to eat these mushrooms, and some say their trippy behavior inspired the idea of flying reindeer. And those red and white ornaments on your Christmas tree? Some believe they symbolize mushrooms that shamans dried on tree branches, an ancient practice turned festive tradition. So next time you see Santa or decorate your tree, remember this magical mushroom connection. Merry Christmas and happy mushroom hunting. Like and subscribe for more surprises.